What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table, we have another Game of Thrones card game, second edition tournament match from Canadian Nationals 2017, brought to you by these awesome backers from patreon.com/Rob's Gaming Table. In this match, we have Guillaume playing Lannister Rains of Casimir against Alex playing Martell Banner of the Watch. Now, this Banner of the Watch deck was the story out of Canadian Nationals. I didn't know it was on the stream, I think, during Swiss, and then later in the cut, we were asking which games to be on Swiss. And this was the deck people wanted to see and people were talking about. And yeah, I may or may not have played it during the tournament. And you can go check out the live streams to see its other games from this tournament. And we got tons more games coming up, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. On the left, we got two Bastard Daughters, two Desert Scavengers, and Iron Throne set up. And on the right, the Lannister Rains deck, setting up a Janos Slint, a Red Cloaks, and a Great Hall. Now that playmat on the left, the Baratheon playmat from first edition, one of my favorite playmats, actually. Even just physically, it was a little thicker at that time when they were putting them in the kits. So the rubber on that one and the mat on it, I don't know, it just feels like a thicker, higher quality playmat. I love that art. And there's Alex being awesome. Alex Hines, who was our tournament organizer, handing out prizes there, and did an awesome job. I think the best tournament run I've ever seen, ever. This guy, man, ran it like clockwork, ran around with a laptop. He'd be standing beside the table that was running last every round, just ready to see the final result, making sure they were playing fast enough to finish the game in a decent time, letting them know when time ended, and then entering the results into Jousting Pavilion, like, as soon as they were finished. That way the pairings for the next round were up, like, so fast. He went around making sure results were correct. He was repeating things to people. He was very clearly over the microphone. Walked around to every single table to pass out information to people, made sure everyone knew everything. Man, shout out to Alex Hines for running an awesome tournament. Big pat on the back to that guy. But anyways, looks like the Lannister player is going first here. We had the long plan played on the Martell side against a noble cause played on the other side. So Martell player wins initiative, chooses the Lannister player to go first. And that Great Hall goes down. Some Lord reduction on the noble cause gets Tywin Lannister, a sort of hidden unknown card from the core set nobody really plays or isn't really that good. I'm totally kidding. Tywin Lannister is amazing. And when I look at Netrunner that just got their core set rebooted, where they took out some cards of the core set, put some cards from the first couple cycles that rotated out back into the core set, I'm always wondering down the road when Thrones gets rebooted, if they ever get a new core set, is Tywin and Tyrion, are those two guys going to be completely redesigned or not in the core set? I think they'll be in the core set in some form or another, but I wonder if the Tywin that we see now will be in the game forever. Even though he's in the core set, you might think he's evergreen, but Netrunner has shown us that core set cards are not safe from rotation, which is pretty cool. So let's have fun with him while we can. So marshalling 2 gold saved on Lannister side. He passed over to the Martell player. Looks like he slapped out a Dornish fiefdoms to get the beauty Martell going second economy flowing already. And then played Flea Bottom and a Haunted Forest and saved 1 gold. And what are you going to do with that gold, you ask? Well, worst case, he saves it with the long plan and spends it next turn. So he's all about wanting to lose challenges here in the early round, save the gold, play a lower gold plot next turn, I'm sure. And worst case, or another case for the gold is the Flea Bottom that he has out there. He's playing Haunted Forest there, obviously to slow his opponent down from getting an opposed power until he gets the lock on the game. He gets his broken combos running. Now, I don't know how broken they are, but he was the talk of the tournament. Lots of people are talking about this deck, talking about restricted lists and that kind of thing. There was lots of players scouting him, I heard, trying to figure out his deck because it was so interesting. And I think that maybe after looking back, that's why some people wanted him on the stream, was because at home, people were wanting to know what this deck does so they could play it at their next tournaments. Who knows? Or maybe they're fearing this deck. But from what I know, he uses Veteran Builder. That's what the Banner of the Watch is bringing in. And the Wall to do, you know, the combo people talked about when they saw Flea Bottom was Veteran Builder, cycling him in again, standing things, and redoing it. So that way, you know, worst case, he's like standing a Haunted Forest, sacking a Veteran Builder, bringing him back and play with Flea Bottom, sacking him again to stand the Wall. He could sack him again to stand Flea Bottom and do it again. Like, it's just stupid. But Let's see it rolling here if he gets going. So we got Janos Slint coming in. Loses the challenge, gains the goal from long play, and Honda Force goes down, blocking the unopposed. Janos Slint has some Intimidate, but it looks like he didn't spend any gold to buff his strength. So I think he can Intimidate any one of them. They're all one cost, or one strength, sorry. Yep, so he kneels down and he does their Scavenger. His Viper's Eyes is grabbed on the Intrigue claim, which, like I say in all of my videos against Martell, you want to go Intrigue first usually, just to try to get those Viper's Eyes out of hand to reduce that chance that they're going to play one and snipe cards from your hand. Maybe you can grab that Vengeance from Amelia so it doesn't hit you back later on a military challenge or something. So it looks like the Lannister player has passed challenges. And I think we have an attack here with the Bastard Daughter coming in from the Martell side. Yeah, it looks like it is. And it's going to be blocked by the Red Cloaks. And he wins the challenge, so the Martell player gets triggered the long plane again. And we have an unopposed power coming in. No power to claim.
Oh, no, unopposed. Sorry, unopposed. Sorry. I'll pass you gain 1 power for the unopposed.
And we got a power on the board for the Martell. No power on the Lannister side. And with that iron thrown out there, and Tywin, yeah, it should go to the Martells. Yeah, Martell wins dominance.
How many cards do you have? 8.
So Alex on the left doing a good job of checking reserve here. Make sure his opponent chucks a card there. And we get rid of Milk of the Poppy on the taxation. Oh, 2 cards actually. And a Queen's Assassin. Guess he thinks that Queen's Assassin's not really been doing much when it can just kill a Bastard Daughter and then you lose a card out of hand. Yeah, maybe you don't want to be playing Queen's Assassins right now. So that might be a good call to throw in the discard pile and not play them. At least not play them ambush style. For 4 gold. All right, we got Valor into March. Already a turn 2. Marched in Valors. Holy crap, we're going hard here already. So Tywin is going to be the March target. Guillaume choosing himself to go first and trigger March first. We get a Desert Scavenger March, and then everyone else dies. And 2 Bastard Daughters are going off here. So Alex being dirty with the offensive Valor and going for 2 random cards. Sirio and a Treachery, taking the Lannister player down to 4 cards, just like that.
You're going first, correct? I'm going first. Okay.
And they'll hit draw phase, and the Lannister player should be marshalling first here. Remember, 3 gold carried over, looks like there, from the long plane last turn into a Valor. Makes sense. So he's going to have at least 4 gold to work with on the Valor. And since the Guillaume went first there on the March to the Wall, he's now giving Alex a 2 gold off of Dornish Fiefdoms, it looks like. So he's going to play a Grey Hall. 2 Grey Halls now on the Lannister side. Alex should be kneeling that Dornish Fiefdoms here. It looks like he's not going to yet. Oh, there he does. He does it after the playing of the Lords, or the Lannisport Merchant, is what I'm trying to say. And he treacheries the gold, actually. I was thinking Nightmares, but Treachery. 2 Treacheries now in the discard pile.
Don't know if I should. Oh, sorry. This is discard. This is dead. Sorry. Dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And we get a Queen's Assassin played. So we go from Tywin and Janos rocking the board to now a Queen's Assassin played for 2 gold and a knelt out Lord or Lannisport Merchant. So how things have quickly changed, and only a couple cards left in hand for the Lannister player. So already we see this control deck going to town here with this Lannister player, Guillaume.
You actually have only 1 gold. What? No, sorry. I'm second. Yeah, you're right. I'm playing against Knife Watch too much.
I think Guillaume just tried to get him to get less off his Orange Fiefdoms, but realized that's not how the Martell one works. He was thinking it was a Night's Watch one, and since he has only a 4 gold plot, that would have mattered for an Underground Vault, but does not in this case. And now I heard this talked about. Alex was telling me about his deck later in the tournament, and was telling me about this Southron Messenger cycling business. So I need to look up what that card does, because I remember looking at it thinking that I'm going to play in a Martell deck if I ever go back to playing Martell, which I do every now and then, casually. I dabble. They were my first edition faction, so I always keep my eye on them. So Southbound Messenger is an ally. Ambush 5. Reaction after Southbound Messenger enters play during a challenge. Choose a participating character with fewer than 2 challenge icons and return that character to its owner's hand. Oh, gross. 2 targets across the board.
Power challenge. 5 because of
Looks like a power challenge one there with the... What is happening? Oh, Flea Bottom brought the Desert Scavenger into play, and he went to the bottom of the deck.
Reserve, 5 cards, 5 cards, well, 6 cards, 5 cards.
So they're both under reserve here. Martell player's up to 4 power now. And he has a gold, but I think that should go away. And we have double counting coppers here. And there, that gold is clear away. And the Lannister player has 1 initiative. He's choosing the Martell player to go first, so he doesn't grab so much economy off of his Dornish fiefdoms, most likely. That is why he's chosen that way. So both players have loaded their hands up here, but both have low gold plots, but both have decent economy locations to help them offset that. So we played the Rose Road there by accident before he collected his gold, but still took the correct amount of gold. And takes 2 more for kneeling both the Dornish fiefdoms. Well, let's see what Alex Druin do here.
Spent 4 gold.
And the wall is in play. Now, another funny thing, Alex, when I played him later, he kept doing to me, I do intrigue challenges against his deck, and you grab these characters. So he's probably sitting on a bunch of characters in hand that work well with Flea Bottom. He's got Flea Bottom in play. No gold save this time. But it's funny, when people are doing intrigue challenges against him, he's all happy when you're like intriguing characters out of his hand into his discard pile. Then he just starts laughing because he never had to play them and then sack them. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's annoying. But he starts laughing and saying, yeah, thanks, man, thanks. Oh, Sir Ilan Payne, a great call right now. In this cheap character meta with Flea Bottom, that is a good card, actually. To kill those targets, and so that way they're not making it to the discard pile. Nice call on Guillaume's side there. I wasn't playing any Ilan Payne's my Lannister Rains deck I was playing around with, but yeah, that's got to change. So no challenges from the Martell side. He's got no money, no way to get anything going. So he passed it over. And now we got an intrigue unopposed coming in with the Queen's Assassin. No, not unopposed, actually. Haunted Forest blocking and going down with the forced reaction. So slowing down the power game. And another, his Viper's Eyes grabbed on the intrigue claim. Guillaume getting lucky on those pulls, that's for sure. And that's all we got for the challenge phase. So not much happening there on the Lannister side. No power still. But the Martell player, Alex, has shot up to 7 power. So 7-0. He is controlling his opponent well. He just has to get something going here. I mean, that wall is going to get him some power for sure. But and the Iron Throne is going to help him protect dominance and hopefully pull some power from that. But let's see if we can get some other stuff going here. So political disaster. Oh, man. Oh, man. Not going to hit the Lannister player. Well played here. And look at the giant pile of locations it's going to hit across the board. And Fallen from Favors played on the Martell side. Obviously being cute there, not having to sacrifice a character since he has none in play. But also gives him enough money that he can put a board out after. So a great plot to play in heavy reset decks, like I'm sure this one is here. So he's going to save Dornish Fiefdoms on the wall. No Flea Bottom. Maybe he's got another one. Maybe he's going to draw another one. He's probably running 3 of those for sure. Now, this is a chance for Guillaume to take advantage. Get some good laning dudes back on the board, hopefully. And start slamming some power onto his house card and his characters. And hopefully steal some from Alex and turn this game around. But right now he's down 7-0. But he has some characters on the board, but what can that 7 gold plot afford? A juicy Varys, that's what it can do. So, and we know Alex, well, I know Alex is playing the, I remember pulling him out of his hand, the, what the heck is it? The event, puts neutrals in play, gives them Intimidate. Last of the Giants, I think, yes. So we see Jaime Lannister put into play there. The Dornish Fiefdoms on the other side triggered to get 2 gold since the Martell player is going second. And 2 gold saved on the Lannister side. Is he running put to the sword? Target kill works great against flea bottom decks. Even if you got to kill a weenie to get it in the dead pile and not cycling. Like, killing a veteran builder against that deck is a very good thing. You may laugh, but it's a good thing. Who thought we'd fear the veteran builders? How many times has that card been made fun of since the core set days and no one's run it? And then Greg Atkinson's Flea Bottom comes along and makes those cards look oh so juicy. And I'm always a fan of cards that come out that make those old cards you think you wasted your money on actually playable. And that's what I love about living card games. It's ever changing. I love it. So we have a faction card Neil here. It looks like, oh, Secret Schemes was played. Sorry, he drew some cards with Secret Schemes. We see it there in the discard pile. And some more digging here with a Green Blood Trader. He's gonna look at 2 cards, choose one, put it in his hand, the other one at the bottom of the deck. Part of his strategy to get his combos going, I'm sure. He needs to dig, dig, dig. Hasn't seen all the pieces yet. And now that all his locations blew up, I'm sure he's looking to get some of them back as quick as possible to get that control back again. And not get smashed here.
Juicy 7. Alright. I will draw 3 and then 3 more.
Spend 2.
And we see the Iron Throne's made it back, so there's one of those locations that left, but it has returned. It's going to help with preventing the dominance wins on the Lannister side, just making it harder to gain power. And that's it, saving 4 gold. Over to the Lannister player Guillaume for his challenges. Now, do you just start here with Jaime Lannister on a military? That's what I would think to do, but we don't have Ill and Pain used on the kill there. And we get a military challenge for 5 strength with Jaime Lannister coming in, not kneeling to attack, of course. So no defenders. The wall should go down, I think. Oh, there's the last his Viper's Eyes. And the wall goes down. So what do we see there? A couple lords or Landsport shipwrights. Or Landsport merchants. We got the trial by combat. Tyrion is grabbed and put in the discard pile. And we see Podrick there. So now the Martell player knows about Podrick being in hand, who can come into play and save a character for 2 gold, and then 2 more gold to kill the attacking character if it's Tyrion who's saved. But no Tyrion in sight now that he's in the discard pile. Doesn't mean we're not going to see him, but just less likely now. But all 3 of his Viper's Eyes gone, no characters on the board, less locations. This Lannister player has to be turning this thing around. Can Alex, the Martell player, stay in this game and not just have it turned around on him here and lose it? So unopposed power challenge coming in with the Landsport merchant. And we're at 4 power now on the Lannister side, 6 on the Martell side.
Oh, you said power, sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
Is he going to go for the range trigger here? It looks like it. We got a 9 strength entry coming in with Jaime and Ill and Pain. What are you going to trigger on the Reigns? So we do have the range trigger. His first reaction here. He's going to do the Reigns. Was unopposed. And interestingly, he changed it to 2 claim. using sneak attack. But then that's going to be his last challenge, which doesn't matter, I guess, when you do it as your third. There's Last of the Giants. There's the Desert Scavenger. Less chance of the Varys happening here, which I'm sure that's what Alex is probably lining up. Does he have another Last of the Giants in hand, or a Varys? He takes Dominance. He does have another Last of the Giants, it looks like. Spends 2 gold. Are we going to see it? Yes, he does. Do we have a Hand's Judgment here for 2 gold on the other side? No, we don't. Oh, it's a Pyromancers. And then Mutiny at Craster's Keep. In Dominance, he's going to sack the Pyromancers. Not even use them first to blow up a... Oh, maybe it's non-limited. I don't... Maybe they can't... No, they can. I think. But anyways, whatever. He doesn't want to lose the power, I guess. But he sacks to sack Jamie. So he's also playing Mutiny at Craster's Keep. I did not know that. Oh, another dirty card that came out recently. I love it. Alex, awesome deck. Jesse Carpenter helping with this deck from the Wars to Come podcast. Go listen to those guys on there talking about deck building. They seem to know what they're doing. They come up with this evil, evil deck. I love it. Anyone going to Worlds, this is the kind of deck you got to watch out for. I'm sure it's may have been improved with cards that came out in the recent chapter pack that were not legal at this tournament. Who knows? But this style of deck is a thing. So make sure you're ready for it, that's for sure. So it looks like that low reserve on Political Disaster hitting the Lannister player hard here. Having to chuck a child by combat. Something else he had to throw out there I didn't see, but having to get rid of cards either way. And tons of high reserve on the Martell side. Playing all high reserve plots. Plus he's got the Iron Throne out there. Just keeps his tricks in hand. And now we have Retaliation on the Martell side. Into first Snow of Winter on the Lannister side. So it's going to prevent the Martell player from getting more characters on the board, I'm sure, since a lot of his characters are just cheap weenies. But it's also going to send back 2 characters back to hand on the Lannister side right now. But he's got Great Hall out there, 2 Great Halls, and now a Western Fiefdoms to help him on top of the Lannisport Merchant, and 2 gold gained on the Martell side from the Dornish Fiefdoms. Martell player still in the lead, 7-4. That's it. No big dude to drop here on the Lannister side. Maybe he was hoping to top deck something to put on the board to stake around, but maybe he's just sitting on Burnmen. Burnmen are great on first snow either way.
That's what I got. I don't have anything else.
And the Martell player is sitting on 6 gold. Doesn't have anything to put out there, but that could pay for an Arrow Hota. And there's Ilan Payne fighting the battle by himself. But a Lannister player with gold there doesn't mean he's alone. They could have something ambush in. There's Alex yelling out our time left in the round. Always on point.
I am likely very not good for reserve. I see a +1 for me. Oh, thanks. That may help. The newly made Lord will go away. Sure. Keeping us at 7. Thank you.
So the crazy thing here with the 2 claim plot sitting on the Martell side is that he could ambush something in, and if it has a military icon, could turn around the 2 claim back onto the Lannister player and really crush him here in board presence. So the Burnman comes out for the 2 gold. Got to do intrigue first, try to sniff out something from hand. And he gets the 5 gold spent. It is Hota. Hota's coming, I know it. And he is. He's going to knock the Janos Slint out of the challenge. No treachery for that.
I'll go first.
So no intrigue. That fizzles. And now you know what's going to happen. Oh, but actually military pushed in through here with the Burnmen. He's going to have to block with Hota or Hota dies.
Okay. Sucks I don't have another body out there. Huh?
Alex, can I check what city you guys from? Well,
Yeah, well, Well, some of us vary.
We'll roughly say on average Detroit.
I want to
Save 2.
Anything
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
significantly from
Yeah, just,
Detroit.
I thought you were talking about it's just a weird thing of do I actually let these go based on what's in my hand?
Okay.
So he's going to have to block here. Hota dies. And it looks like he does. Makes sense. Yeah, he's got to do it. Doesn't get to flip the 2 claim around. Now, if he risked it and let Ill and Pain come in, hit the hand on Intrigue, misses the Hota, then Hota comes in and swings on the mill after the Burn Men have done what they do. It would have been real bad for the Lannister player, I think, but that doesn't happen. But it looks like we had the wall trigger there, since there was no unopposed challenge and dominance. So the Martell player is at 10 power. I don't know how he's doing it. He's just doing it. And 4 power on the Lannister side. So we have Valor flipped into Confiscation. Confiscation obviously whiffing.
What? Sorry, this is my dad right here. Sorry, but I don't know if that's confusing.
Alright. Given that, let's go.
Draw 2.
I'll save the Rose.
Were you good on reserve?
Yeah.
6.
Yes.
Six, okay.
You can save for that.
What? Draw 2.
Draw 2. Wow.
So obviously the Martell player wins initiative. 5-0. Chooses the Lannister player to go first. So we can collect his juicy Dornish Fiefdom's goal here. And especially having 0 claim on that Valor, less to worry about. But it is a Rains deck, so we could flip into a scheme plot and replace that claim. So don't sleep on that 0 claim. But can he actually build up a board here? That's the question. He's been struggling to do so. Oh, he's kneeling the Great Halls, so he has something this time. And it's Corset Cersei raising claim on Intrigue challenges. Love that Cersei. Reminds me a lot of Arion Martell from first edition, one of my favorite Martell cards. Raise and claim. Raise and claim's good. Who knew? Especially when you have a 0 claim plot.
I know.
And Haunted Forest is back out there to help keep that wall standing. So it's, the wall power is going to get triggered this turn, it looks like, unless it's Treachery or Nightmares or something like that. There is 1 gold saved on the Lannister side, so that is possible. And we got the Green Blood Trader doing some digging. More card draw here.
You got a good,
Yeah, no kidding.
that was the haul.
I think you can't be too sad about that.
No.
So it looks like that's it for marshalling for Alex, the Martell player. He's saving 2 gold. So Cersei coming in on the Intrigue challenge, 4 strength. Faction card Neil. And we get Dolorous Ed jumping into play. And Treachery cancels him. Hand's Judgment cancels that. Dolorous Ed's in there. He's 3 strength plus the Haunted Forest in there, so should be fully blocked. And Dolorous Ed goes back to hand. So 3rd Treachery gone, I believe. That's all the Treacheries. No fear of that now. So that wall is going to be triggering all day, every day. And now an Intrigue challenge hitting back. And unopposed power gained. Putting Alex at 11 power. Gets rid of a Queen's Assassin. So end of the challenges, we get the wall again. And Dominance, putting him at 14 power, 1 away from winning. Just like that. Wow. Never has characters on the board. But also has opponents struggles to have characters. And we have Marshall the Wall into trading with the Batoshi. And the Martell player chooses the Lannister player to go first, marching that Green Blood Trader. And the Landsport Merchant getting marched on the other side, leaving Cersei alone out there.
1, 2.
So even though Alex's board has never been looking too scary, the Martell player, he got his locations back. I think that to get the Haunted Forest and the Iron Throne back definitely was enough to keep him in this game here, but he's been in the lead the entire game. No matter which named Lannisters hit the board, there was no fear. He always had the tricks in hand, always had a higher hand than his opponent, but it's not looking good for this Lannister player. He's 1 power away from losing. Dornish fiefdom's trigger to get the 2 gold, and Tywin has made a return appearance. This game is not over yet. And a Lannisport Merchant. And a Red Cloaks. And Tywin's got 6 extra strength off the gold save there, looks like.
Alright, so we gain my 4 more gold.
Alex just needs to get a couple characters out there to protect the wall. He's got that Haunted Forest to help him on one of the challenges. Just needs a couple of the other icons. Green Blood Trader again. More card draws, getting the pieces.
Yeah. That's just ridiculous. We'll kneel and go 2 more for another priest of the ground stuff.
Alright.
So if you haven't watched the previous videos in this series, we got tons on there on the playlist. Rob's Gaming Table on YouTube. Canadian Nationals, the whole live stream's there. Tons of Swiss games in the live stream. The whole cuts there, the finals are there. If you guys want to watch any of that stuff, go crazy. And all these games will be posted in that same playlist. So subscribe, make sure you're around when that stuff gets posted. I'm trying to post as many as I can here. At least 1 a day is what I'm trying to do, but sometimes things come up. We spoiled some spoilers from the Tyrell box that's upcoming at the end of the month here in October 2017. Spoiled a couple Tyrell cards, so you can go check out that video on the channel too. It was just posted a couple days before this one was posted, should be. So go check those out. Share them with your friends. Get excited for that Tyrell box, which we learned today is not legal for Worlds. So don't worry about any of those cards to be played at Worlds. I'm going to try to go there to get some videos for you guys, so if you want to help support the channel, help get me to Worlds, and not make it so costly, you can do so patreon.com/Rob's Gaming Table. The link is in the description below. And we see the Veteran Builder finally makes an appearance. So that wall is going to be stood back up if it does go down, but he does have an Intrigue and Power icon on the board, so he's going to be able to block the unopposed from that. No stealth on the other side. So it should be good. Unless the Nightmares. We need a Nightmares here on this wall to prevent it from happening this round. And Guillaume's got to be careful with the Lannister strength he's got over there with the gold and whatnot. Counting it towards the Iron Throne on the other side and the gold saved on Alex's side to make sure he doesn't just lose dominance and lose the game on that. So he's got dominance staring him down. He's got the wall power staring him down. He's got power challenge he's got to worry about. And he's got steal power from his opponent. All these things, or else he loses the game here being 1 power away from losing. So Cersei and Tywin coming in. I don't know if there's a big intrigue here to try to trigger Rains maybe. And Dollar said, yep, coming in. Neil in the faction card doesn't have to worry about being treacheryed anymore since treacheries are all in the discard pile. Dollar said not putting enough strength this time with the Haunted Forest and the wall buff to block fully, but he's bringing in 5 against 10. But oh, actually 10. What am I talking about? 16 with Tywin's strength buff. And we're getting a range trigger here. What are we going to have? He's going to kneel the Veteran Builder. No, he's going to restand with the Power Behind the Throne. He does have a Nightmares in hand. Guillaume, the Lannister player, does have a Nightmares in hand. So this may last another round here if he can Nightmares that wall. And let's see if we grab an Intrigue claim. Hands Judgment. And the claim is raised because Cersei's in there. Getting a Nymeria. And Tywin gains Renown. Lannister player up to 5 power now. He's going to stand up. Stand up Tywin, it looks like. Yep, makes sense. And then do you just pass challenges? And a military coming in with Tywin. 12 strength. And since the Haunted Forest went down last turn, this is unopposed. The wall goes down. But like I said, that Veteran Builder is there to stand it right back up. But will we see that Nightmares played? And claim is going to be Dollar's Ed. Tywin will get a renown. So you might as well do the power with the Landsport Merchant. You got to do it. Even though it can be blocked, which it probably will be. I think he just defends it and wins dominance, and that's all good. And yeah, he blocks the Veteran Builder.
I win. Yep. 5.
And that's it for challenges for the Lannister player. He's going to pop a gold on the Red Cloaks.
Second, stay on the wall.
And the wall gets stood up. We should see the Nightmares played now.
The wall.
What? No Nightmares? What is going on here? Yeah, Nightmares in hand. I don't know why he didn't play it. I guess he would have lost on dominance anyway. But either way, congrats to Alex. Dirty deck. We got more of that deck coming up on the channel. I know there's a great match coming up with that one from the later rounds. That's all I'll say. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. More of that dirty deck coming. Great to see interesting decks that I'm not used to seeing commentating on these videos. So I appreciate seeing that. Appreciate these guys playing on camera. Thank you everyone for watching. Tons more coming up from Game of Thrones, the card game. Canadian Nationals 2017. We got battles, the Summer Hall videos coming up most likely if I can get those videos from that tournament. And should be some Worlds videos coming up. So stay around to Rob's Gaming Table. Tons more coming. Thanks a lot, guys. See you in the next one.